This is an EzShot 750 lumen rechargeable weapon light. And to be perfectly honest, I'd never heard of the brand EzShot. Not until they reached out to me and asked if I'd like to do a review of one of their products. And I said, "Oh, that's easy. I'll give it a shot." They didn't understand my dad joke and sent me this weapon light. Okay, let's see what we get in the box here. Now, the box itself is rather plain black and, well, doesn't say anything other than a label, barcode label, and made in China. Well, that's not surprising. We have a instruction manual in English and in English. Okay. We have, the tack light itself. We have a microfiber or similar cleaning cloth. A USB charger. Let's see, what type of USB? Well, oh yeah, this is a magnetic connector, so it's not a specific USB type. It has a magnetic connection point, and this is a standard phone type wall charger. Comes with two CR1234 batteries, rechargeables, and I think these are fairly generic cells from what I can tell. Oh, and it has some adapters here for, I guess, various pistols. You have TWS 99. We have a GL, which I'm assuming is Glock. I'm assuming this is Smith & Wesson, and this is a 1913, or otherwise known as a Picatinny plate, and a 92, which I believe is probably the Beretta. So that comes with the Beretta already pre-installed. And it comes with two Allen wrenches to swap these out, as well as to get into the battery compartment. So we'll do that right now. I'm going to swap this out for a Glock type as well. So let's open up the battery compartment and put in these cells. There we go. Now, which way does this go? Does it say? I don't see. Let's see if there's any plus or minus. Well, if it's the diagram, going by the diagram, then we are positive. Oh, okay. Duh. There is a diagram on the side there. So let's follow the diagram. Positive in, positive out, and reinstall. All right. And we just screw that finger tight, because this is all polymer, so I don't want to over tighten this because I don't know if we're going to strip something. But the screw itself is metal, and let's see. Yep. Whoa, quite bright. Up on the left side for momentary, and down for on, continuous on. And yeah, no push style, no Surefire style push activation. Is strictly twist, which is fine. That's Streamlight's control scheme. And let's remove this 9.2 adapter and replace it for a Glock, since we are going to be mounting this to my Glock to test out. It's stuck on there. Oh, there we go. Just align those holes. Reinsert the screw. Screw it back in. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to try charging this for a bit. Now, the way it charges is you'll connect this to your USB charger or whatever USB charging charger device you have, and this is magnetic. So the reason why you screw in the battery compartment, unlike most other type of flashlights, you can replace the batteries. They aren't meant to be taken out to recharge or replace. They're meant to be recharged via magnetic connection, as thus. And the magnetic connection has two benefits, one being that the convenience of just snapping it on, but two, it does provide a more waterproof connection than a USB-C or a USB micro, which you have to have some sort of silicone cover, and then it's still, you're not really guaranteed full waterproof just by putting a silicone cover on it. So this, as I'm assuming, was designed to provide maximum resistance to moisture getting in. All right, so we'll plug it in and see how well, after I get it fully charged, I'll see how well it mounts onto a pistol. Okay, I want to just show you what it looks like while it's charging. If you notice here, I've got this plugged in and it has a blue LED indicator in the charging cable here that shows you that it's powered, and you just connect it magnetically, and as you can see, a green LED starts to flash. Now when it is fully charged, that flashing LED will turn off, so that's how you know it's fully charged. Alright, so let's take a look when this is fully charged. Okay, so let's take a look at how easy it is to attach to a Glock 17. I have removed the magazine, and as you can see, I have made sure that the chamber is empty. There are no bullets inside, so it is safe to handle. Now, my standard weapon light is an Olight Valkyrie PL2, and we will remove that so we can attach the EzShot. While we have it off, let's take a quick look in comparison between these two weapon lights here. So you can see the EzShot is quite chunkier than the Olight, and they are approximately the same length. If you discount the prongs on the controls here, they are approximately the same length, but the base is much bigger, thicker on the EzShot. As you can see here, if looking at it from the front, this is easily 2 or 3 times thicker than the Olight. Now, maybe that's a good thing from a durability standpoint. Maybe because this is so much thicker, this clamp can take much more load or impact and abuse. Well, that kind of remains to be seen, but maybe that was the school of thought in designing it so robust and chunky. Yeah, interesting. And the clamping mechanism is also very different between these two. This has a nice quick release lever, and this, well, charitably, I would not even call this quick release. This is sort of a standard, very much like a scope mount kind of tightening system. There's a knurled end here that you can finger tight this screw or this bolt. This other side is a Phillips head, a Phillips screw. I would not, don't tighten it here, because Phillips were actually designed to strip if over tightened. So always tighten it on this side, which is the hex Allen key side. So this is the crossbar that corresponds to the notch in your accessory rail. So you just line that up, and you might even hear a nice snap as it gets into place, and we just finger tight that. Yeah, it's nice and secure, and oh my, this has quite a distance between the trigger guard and the controls. That is way farther than I have a Streamlight that I've lent out, so I don't have it here to compare, but my Streamlight has similar controls, and they actually go over the trigger guard, so and butt up right practically to the trigger guard. This one has almost a thumb's width or thickness distance. So if you are trying to actuate it with one hand, there's no way, unless you have really super long fingers. Again, I can't even reach that. You'd have to break your grip and rotate it slightly to get to the controls. But yeah, I don't know. You can reach it, I think, with with your support hand if you're shooting two-handed. So the controls are very much like Streamlight's. There is a momentary on if you push up, and constant on if you press down. So yeah, you could reach it with your support hand, no problem. There's even room enough that if you prefer to put your index finger over your trigger guard, you could get it there, though I would be... the prong would probably butt up against your knuckle and be kind of maybe possibly even painful from recoil if you did it that way. So that isn't even really practical. That's really weird that they put this much space on here. And that's weird. There is a small little button recessed next to the charging port, and that is the strobe control. So if you like strobe, you would just turn it on and you press the button on here to turn it into strobe mode. So that is definitely a good thing if you don't like strobe, because it is not all that handy to get to and actuate the strobe. So you kind of have to break your grip on it with your support hand and press down and press that button to get into strobe mode. So that's not very ergonomic, but it does work, and it is a discrete control, so you can't accidentally put it into strobe mode unless you want to. You have to make a conscious effort to do that. So yeah, okay, well, anyway, and there is really no way to move this thing forward, to move your light back. I would want it back here. So it's really strange that they designed it to be this far forward. So that's just my call, but I would have wanted it to be back here. All right, so let us take this thing out to do some testing, and we'll see how it goes. Here we see the illumination pattern indoors. At a distance of 11 feet, there's a core hotspot about 1.5 to 2 feet wide, and a secondary hotspot around that of about 4 feet wide before it gradually merges into the spill. The light was able to illuminate the top of a pine tree 30 feet and 65 feet away on the hillside, and it could clearly illuminate a telephone pole 120 feet away. To test impact resistance, I usually drop a light twice from 6 feet up onto dirt and rocks, though actually in this case I dropped it about 6 times because the camera moved. Despite the extra abuse, the light was undamaged and fully functional. The light is IPX6 rated, which means it can survive high-pressure water jets for up to 60 seconds. So that's what I did. I took my high-pressure washer and sprayed it down for a minute. I made sure to spray the gaps and joins between the battery compartment, the body, and the crown, because if there was going to be a failure, it would happen there. The light stayed on and the controls worked, so I initially thought the light had passed the water test. But half an hour later, I noticed some fogging behind the lens, so I opened up the head. I could see moisture on the threads, so obviously water did get in. In fact, there were some drops around the LED as well as underneath the lens. On closer inspection, I could find no rubber O-rings around the lens, the bezel, or the head, so just lacking those simple waterproofing devices, that could have kept the water out. Next, I checked the battery compartment, and the whole rear assembly, which includes the controls and the rear battery cap, does have a large rubber seal, but as you can see, it failed to keep the water out of the battery compartment. Now, to be fair, my water test was probably harsher than an IPX6 water test because they probably don't focus a tight beam of high-pressure water on failure points, but I really wanted to give it a worst-case scenario test. And in this case, yeah, it failed. So before we wrap this up, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell if you found this review to be helpful. Okay, so what can we say about the EzShot weapon light? It is a very ruggedly built budget weapon light that failed my water test for a lack of some silicone O-rings. So that's something I hope EzShot can easily rectify. But is it right for you? Well, hopefully this in-depth review helped you decide, and if you do want to pick one up, please use that link in my video description. Purchases made on Amazon through that link help support this channel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and you be safe out there. Moondog, out. Hey, if you like this video, please share it on social media. You know, Facebook, forums, MeWe, whatever platform you're on. And if you want to see more videos, check out moondogindustries.com.